Ladies and gentlemen, it was at this moment in time that Tesla Motors outclassed a Rolls-Royce. So finally, Alfred can retire. If only Rolls-Royce would catch up and let him. We have tacky fiber optic Starlight. How about the real experience? An absolutely over-the-top Falcon wing door design, leaving the Rolls-Royce engineers feeling suicidal. And I mean, Tesla is today what Mercedes was in the 90s, on the very edge, the undoubtable leader. And more specifically, the Model X is today's W140. Look, in many ways, both of these, upon their release, outclassed the Rolls-Royce of their time. And aesthetically, both are questionable. For me, she is just fine, and she looks really good in black. Oh, they both do. But it's the features. With these two, it's either the first in the world or the best in the world. So let's realize, let's appreciate, and let's compare. Because I'm gonna tell you, Tesla Motors is now the new Mercedes-Benz. Glass, dual pane, sealed dehumidified air, perfect body flushness resulting in a oh so quiet and a never attempted again fog-proof experience. But look, infinity overhead windshield. Video does not do this justice. In person, this is so wildly different, so wildly expansive. You think any of the other manufacturers are lining up to copy this feature? No chance. This is the biggest thing in windshields since sliced bread. 1992, pneumatic, supremely gentle, soft closing doors. Buttery, silence. It works better than the soft close on today's S-Class. Just look at that door check. We've got the 90s versus today. You see what I mean? And look here, a mass-produced SUV with legitimate supercar billionaire exotic doors. And you know what? Actually, these are the wildest doors ever made. Really, now let that sink in. Oh no, climate change. Don't worry, this AC system keeps track of the position of the sun. Global warming, no problem. The AC will ever so slightly adjust to keep up instantaneously. This is the nuttiness behind the scenes that people don't really understand. Of course, you had residual heating, but most of all, Mercedes offered remote start without starting the engine. You had a gizmo, you had a range of 1,000 feet, it was tested in Siberia, and it ignited a separate burner, warming up the vehicle for you. 1992, people. And today, you've got a legitimate bioweapons grade infiltration system. Nowadays, this no longer feels like just a gimmick. In the near future, you might really need this. Warm up, cool down, leave the petties in the car. I really appreciate this. And additionally, understand and appreciate this fact. There are no vents. They are all invisible. This is simplicity that's really complex to achieve. Nobody else. Well, 23 years ago, Mercedes started card-style keyless go with a Top Gun-esque push-button shifter start. I mean, wow. Today, on the other hand, it's the most boring same old you can imagine. And you know what? Tesla got the brilliant idea to pick up the ball Mercedes dropped, and now where Tesla is going, there are no push-button starts. Heck, there's no need to go into drive or reverse. It knows where you want to go most of the time. Just reducing all these steps, that is luxury and innovation. And you know what? All of today's safety features, ESP, ABS, ADS, ASR, BAS, ABS. Listen, the stuff we know and love and respect today, guess what? Say hi to daddy. Circa 1990s. Only and brilliantly to be outdone today by the concept of over-the-air updates, another fundamental step forward. And we're not just talking new color icons, but dope stuff, real differences. Programming new drivetrain capabilities, done over the air. Using the camera to detect collisions even sooner and pre-tensioning the belts that much sooner, done. And guess what? Those seats, it's actually double tensioned from each side. See, it's those kind of details that I love to find. And it's that level of details and innovation that Mercedes used to be proud to advertise and present. Good luck finding anything today. Do people really not care about the nutty design details? But do acknowledge, and it was the safest vehicle in the 90s. This W140 crashed into a concrete pillar at over 80 miles an hour, and the princess inside, who unfortunately wasn't wearing a seatbelt, we've all done it, was not only in one piece, but conscious. In any other 90s vehicle,
the entire cabin at that speed would just be in the crumple zone. Now, what happened after the fact, that's a different story. That S-Class was designed and then over-designed exactly for critical impact. Today, Tesla Motors does make the safest vehicles, period. And guess what? They are proud to show it. And that footage, it's unquestionable. You know, this is something that Mercedes used to do. Now, good luck finding any crash results. They don't post them, and I wonder why. Of course, there's some quirks that come with these features. But you know what? Because of the story and the believability of the intent, you kinda let it slide. Not to mention, listen, improvements are exponential. And also, and oddly enough, you know, the S-Class not only imitating the look of the Model S, but it seems to be imitating its previous build quality as well. Now that is true flattery. For real, Mercedes quality seriously fell off. Check this video. Tesla has assembly quality issues. You know, America. Not to be confused with part design quality issues. You see, traditionally, American cars have the build complexity of baby blocks, while a Mercedes, well, a real Mercedes, it was a Connects kit. You can see just how tight and firmly the elements come together, designed for really low variance. You can see that the Tesla was designed to be fit and tight. Other American manufacturers, they give a lot of wiggle room because they want to avoid that challenge that Tesla's going through right now. And they will get through it. Buy the stock long term and take that bet. This simplicity is very complicated, and this manufacturing is giga complicated. An aluminum die casting press, by far the largest aluminum die casting press in the world. Normally it's bits and pieces that these things pump out. On the Model Y, they reduced 171 parts into 2. This front-loaded complexity with the cast dramatically reduces production complexity, assembly error, and increases margins. You know, there really seems to be this nutty pace of innovation, or at least they really know how to showcase it. Because, quite frankly, you don't hear much from the competition. You know, all you gotta do is just double dog dare Tesla to try to adopt that magic magnetic suspension, and they might honestly do it. And then they might honestly outclass Rolls-Royce completely. Because think about it, they've already done it with the S-Class. Unless, of course, the model that I tested was just a bad auction example. I hope that was the case, but you know what? I don't think so. And here we are. We've come to self-driving. Not just a new feature, a revision, an upgrade, but a fundamental change in motoring. It's bold, it's profitable, and it's been recalled. Recalled by VIA over-the-air update. No big deal. Would you really want to bet against this technology? And do you really think the competition is anywhere close? I'll tell you something about dealerships. Non-Tesla dealerships, the salespeople don't even like pushing the self-driving features of whatever manufacturer they represent. Why? Because it sucks. And customers complain. They go in there thinking they're gonna get what they see with the Tesla videos. It's a joke in comparison. But you know who started it? Mercedes. On none other than, of course, the W140. In the 90s, Mercedes-Benz was testing the first adaptive cruise control before anybody else. Today, it's not even close. Are you seeing the picture? And really, are you seeing the big picture? You may recall that Tesla Motors delivered a vehicle into space. Are you not entertained? The thing is, I look at this guy and I read that mission statement and I believe him on a core level. We know when it comes to details, there's always a few devils. Can you handle it? You know, legend has it that the W140 engineers had more input than the accountants, resulting in what we know as the most Mercedes vehicle ever made. In the aftermath, heads were chopped, expenses were cut, and an alliance to mark the end of that glorious era. Today at Tesla, it's not a rogue engineering department, but rather the boss himself who leads this madness, facing delays, investor scrutiny, just to ditch the damn doors, go generic with the features, and to ship the product already. All the while, the company is hemorrhaging money and being heavily shorted, but they followed through, and it probably nearly killed them. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the ultimate automotive story. You see, the Tesla CEO is an engineer, a crazy one. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, with fond memories of the best, I have to say that Tesla Motors is the new Mercedes and beyond.